podcast. It comes out once a week, and this is just a small little introduction video into the podcast. So, down below in the description of each episode, you can go to my Linktree and find links to everything connected to me. This podcast is available on YouTube, which you're watching it on right now, and also on Spotify. But yeah, that is just a small introduction into this podcast and everything that goes along with it. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Al Talks. This is the last episode of the bulk recording, so this is the last time you'll be seeing this hotel room, which is located on, not telling you. So, what is this episode about? This episode is about a comedian special that I recently watched. Well, it's recent to me, but at this stage, it's been I think it's like 5 weeks from when I recorded this. So it is by a Mexican American comedian called Felipe Esparza, and the podcast, the special name is called Raging Fool. And actually, Felipe Esparza was a guest on Joe Rogan, and he talked about he was doing like a podcast run to promote his special, and he mentioned on the podcast, I always like listen to podcasts when comedians do their promotion for special, because you get like little bit of background on the special and stuff like that, because I'm thorough in my research for the podcast sometimes. And he mentioned the reason that it's called Raging Fool is because it was like him and his wife were talking. He was like Raging Bull, and he's like, "Oh, Raging Fool, hey, órale, qué pasa, hombre." That's just a little Mexican song that they always play when you mention Mexico. But yeah, so it was. Now, like last year, there was a couple of specials that I watched that were funny, but they weren't overly great. Now, this special was very, very good. I really enjoyed it. It was like Felipe Esparza in the old days when Joey Diaz lived in L.A. and he was a struggling comedian. He always did, because him being from Cuba and having a Hispanic background, and Spanish as a language, he was always able to do Spanish Mexican rooms, Spanish Mexican language shows and stuff like that over in LA, because they have a huge Latino population. And he always mentioned Felipe Esparza as one guy who always, he give him $50 to do a show and a green chili burrito at this Mexican joint. And it was, for him back then, it was, really, it, it helped him out an awful lot when he was struggling to pay bills and rent and all that. So Felipe Esparza has always been a comedian that I've always enjoyed watching and listening to his clips and stuff like that. So when I seen that a special was coming out, because it's been a while since he released the special. I think last one was a couple of years ago, might have been just before COVID. So it was good to see that he was releasing special. I didn't even know until like it popped up on Netflix. It was like, oh cool, I'll check it out. Okay, I still have time. But yeah, so it was the special itself. It was very, very good. The jokes were top notch, really good quality material. Jokes were hilarious. Like there was a lot of times I was laughing quite hysterically at the material because it was very good. It was well rounded. There's the bit of Austrian rubbing off on me. Well rounded, special. And then that sounded Swedish. I don't know why, but anyway. And like, in general, it was a very, very good special. I really enjoyed it. Oh, sometimes. And what am I trying to say? This might be a short episode because I'm kind of tired. But yeah, but what I'm trying to say is it was good. It was very, very good. The quality was there. You definitely seen that he worked really, really hard in this particular hour. As Felipe always does, like it was very, very good humor in tune to kind of the climate of the current, I suppose, how the US is now, without getting too much into politics and Trump's crazy shit, because there's a lot of it, and all that sort of wacky shit. But overall, it was like a really enjoyable special. I'm very, very glad that I watched it. I'm also glad I listened to the Rogan episode where he kind of went more in depth into the special, like where the name came from and stuff like that. And he was wearing like an Adidas tracksuit that had his name stitched on the back and the name of the special as well. That was like, because you always like wonder, I suppose Eddie Murphy did it with Delirious, like that red leather jumpsuit. It was kind of very iconic for that special, and it's cool that Felipe had, this kind of thing. Like people are gonna remember. Oh, I remember that special from years from now. It's like with the Adidas tracksuit, Raging Fool. So it's a kind of very momentous moment sort of thing. The minute I seen it, I was like, oh yeah, Eddie Murphy, red jumpsuit, Delirious. Here's another bit of background. Somebody asked Eddie Murphy if he still had that jumpsuit, and he said no because him and one night he went clubbing with this dude who's a bodybuilder, and he put it on and he ripped it because he flexed in it, and the seams came apart. So he's like, no, it got destroyed. I don't know why he didn't just get a restitch, but I don't know. So unfortunately, that red jumpsuit does not exist anymore. Would have been cool things to have for Eddie. But unfortunately, it does not exist. I'm looking at the time because I do have to get going on other stuff. Oy. And I keep hitting the goddamn laptop. Apologies for that loud noise. This, I'm not going to show it on camera, but there isn't a desk per se in this hotel room. It's like a long shelf thing. There's usually a desk in most hotel rooms, so it's not wide enough to fit my laptop. So the setup that I have here that I've been recording on is very weird, but that's why I keep hitting the thing. And if you've listened to a couple of episodes, but yeah, this is kind of the last of the bulk record. Yeah, so definitely if you want to hear a good comedy special or watch a good comedy special, definitely check out Felipe Esparza's Raging Fool, because it is fantastic stand-up special. Really good jokes, well crafted, well thought out, methodically executed material. And I'm going to end the episode there because I've been at this for a couple of hours. It's early enough in the morning also, and I have other shit to do. So this is the last episode of the bulk record as well. So next week's episode will have new content for you to enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the last couple of weeks of the bulk record. It took me a long time to put it together. So enjoy. Or I hope you did enjoy. But yeah, next week's episode will have some new stuff for you to check out. Like this, I'm recording this on the 6th, but this is coming out, this is all bulk records. It's still a couple of weeks' time, so hopefully I would have done some gigs. We shall see, and I'll get back to you. But yeah, so thank you for watching the last couple of weeks bulk recording. Thank you for watching this episode, and as per usual, all links down below for everything. And I shall see you all next week. Bye bye.